Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Teri, and my channel is called Holding Your Space. And I am here with my dear friend, Dr. Gail Skywalking with Moon, who is an author and an ET experiencer and pilot, and has done many things in the realm of the galactics and the stars. So we thought it would be fun here to do a series on star people and the basic traits that we see them having. And you've written a book about it, haven't you, Gail?
I've written a book about my um, missions, missions on the spaceship and going in and rescuing aliens from these type of Area 51 places. That's what my first book's about. Just
Yeah,
those missions.
yeah. How I learned to fly a spaceship, which I read in 12 hours. I love that book. It's a great book. I've got it somewhere here on my desk, but I'm reorganizing. So yeah,
Well,
it,
today we're going to talk about the Pleiadians.
yeah, yeah. Which I think it's important. Everybody's been talking about the blue light for quite a while, and we started on Meditation Tribe, really discussing the blue light and seeing it about 3 years ago coming in.
And I've used it for years with the Solaris Healing Center.
Yeah, yeah. And do you want to describe the Solaris Healing Center real quick, or is that not part of this? I think it is.
Well, the Solaris Healing Center is a show that Terry and I do once a month, and it's being able to bring in a blue light energy from a healing center that's designed for the angels and our guides and our power animals, things like that. And they allow us to bring that energy down to Earth using it for an hour during a show that we do. And it instantly lets everybody start their own healing. And then we go in and talk to people and help them out on some of their issues that they're having.
Yeah, and it's amazing. You can go back to those videos years later and still watch them, and that blue light energy is still there.
Right.
So yeah, yeah, it's a higher, much higher frequency than um, the 3D. So yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd start with some of since you're such a gifted experiencer um, on the traits of
Okay.
the Pleiadians.
Well,
You want
you want
to?
to start straight. So I just described the Palladians first. And
Oh
then,
yeah.
okay. So the Pleiadians are from the star system Pleiades, and it consists of planets and stars. And I'm looking down and reading because I don't want to forget anything.
Okay.
And it's often called the Seven Sisters. We've all hear about the Seven Sisters, and that's the Pleiades, and that's what we can see in the sky, are those seven stars. And it's called the Seven Sisters from the Greek mythology. The main planet that reside on is Era, and it's ERRA, and that planet is very similar to Earth, and it has all the oceans and trees and everything, but it's just a little bit smaller. The Pleiadians are about 7 to 8 feet tall, but there are many different species, and I'll go into that in a later date or later in the show. They generally have blue or green eyes with light hair. They're benevolent beings, very nurturing to humans. There are other names you can hear them called are Nordics or tall blondes. They have participated in our evolution from the beginning. They were here before us. Um, we used to be dark skinned, dark eyed people, and now we have blue eyed, green eyed, blondes, and redheads all over the place. And that's from the influence from the Pleiadians on their hybridization program. So they are responsible for our upgrades. They work with our chakras, our emotions, our souls. They're moving us towards unity and love, which is how they are on their planet. They're moving us away from war, fear, all these things that keep us in the 3D world. They're wanting us to move along with them. The Pleiadians exist in a physical and non-physical on Earth. They're here. There's about 2 to 5,000 of them walking among us. And the reason they're here is because what we do here on Earth affects their star system. They're very close to us compared to other star systems. And so they want us to evolve. They want us to get rid of those wars, get rid of the fighting, get rid of the bombs, because all that does affect them and their ascension process also. So that's the very beginning parts of it. Do you want me to go into the descriptions of what the people are like here on Earth, or do you want to go into your
I think it's really important. I think that that's a really good foundation to go into the what they look like, what they feel like, what they might be, their traits.
Yeah, well, I'm going to talk about 10 of different type of Pleiadians that live in that star system. But people on Earth here, the traits that you'll see in somebody who has a Pleiadian heritage, and a lot of us have lifetimes as Pleiadian, so this is more towards the people whose original star seed is from the Pleiades. And these people are naturally want to help and teach. They're extremely compassionate, they're sensitive. They wear their heart on their sleeve. They're people pleasers. They don't like conflict. They can be passive aggressive, but they're never physically aggressive. They're empaths. They forget to release their emotions. They pin up everything and don't, the people that pin up everything and all of a sudden explode in anger and things like that, that would be a lot like a Palladian. And for their to release, they should be going over in a corner or some days to crying to release or do something to release that energy. They tend to be in bad relationships and they find people to be fixer uppers. So that's what the Pleiadians here on Earth characteristics are. That in their careers, they tend to be mediums, psychics, teachers, psychologists, social workers, healers, doctors, and nurses. They're here to make a difference. So that's the Pleiadians here on Earth. And we'll go ahead in our conversation. Then I'll talk about the different type of Pleiadians later if you want to. Or
Okay, yeah, I feel like that what you just described is like every reader on YouTube practically. It's like,
it is, and I mean, that's Pleiadians. We've all had lifetimes as Pleiadians,
yeah,
so it's pretty easy to fall into that.
yeah, yeah, it's beautiful. So I've been working with the blue light ray for quite a while, and I feel like that is Palladian energy that comes in and channeling that into meditations. And what they showed me with that blue light was kind of like almost an instant awakening as it comes in, which you might call diamond light. There's a diamond sutra, and
A Diamond Sutra. What's the Diamond Sutra? Sorry to
well,
interrupt.
no, it's okay. It's okay. A sutra is like a channeling
Well, I
or
know Sutra, but I don't know Diamond
okay,
Sutra.
okay.
But
Diamond
other people
sutra.
might, but other people might not even know what Sutra is.
Oh, well, true. Okay. So sutra is the sutras of Patanjali's is what it's based on, but it's like a different proverb kind of in the Eastern religion. And this is ancient from the Vedas. And the Diamond Sutra was actually lost, and it's more of a myth than a reality, they say, but isn't everything a myth? So, and the Diamond Sutra is like an instant awakening, like Moses in the desert, Yeshua in the desert. All of a sudden you hear so many times of people that um, have a out of body experience or a near death experience, and all of a sudden it changes their world. So
Mhm.
it's that diamond light that comes in, and blue diamond light in particular. So as this light comes in, it's filled with peace, the frequency of um, divine truth and recalibration. It also works very closely with what I call the high heart, which is the space between your heart space, your heart chakra, and your throat chakra. And I see that as your divinity, your source of divinity, kind of like your oversoul that you take with you from lifetime to lifetime. And when I work with that, if I work with that with a light being, it's usually Archangel Metatron that comes in with that. And so this light that works with your crystalline body. So you have your physical form. I'm getting deep here really fast. So tell me if I'm going too wild. But you have your physical form, and then you have your auric field, your energy body. And then outside of that, you have what we call your crystalline body or your light body, which again is like your oversoul, what you take with you from lifetime to lifetime. So it works with they work with the higher mind with the crystalline grids. There is a crystalline grid that goes around the planet Earth, and you'll find them there many times. And we meditate out there too, and it's in atmosphere of the planet, and it's kind of where we're headed. It's a frequency that we're going to. So this ray clears distortion in your throat, third eye, and high heart, helping humanity speak light.
Hold
Not
on one more time. Will you repeat that again?
uh-huh. This ray clears distortion in the throat, third eye, and high heart, helping
Okay.
humanity speak
Can
light,
I
not
stop you
fear.
there? I'm going to
Yeah.
interrupt your thought. Okay, so it's the throat chakra, the third eye, and the high heart. So what's happening when it's opening that up? What does it allow? What's what occurs when that's opened up?
Okay, when that opens up, you go into your subtle senses. So, not just your clairs, clairvoyance, claircognizance, all your clairs. It also goes deeper than that into more subtle clairs, like remembering past lives, the field of Akash. As you go into that dimension or that ray, you know, you know who you are, you know where you came from, you know the universe, you know the multiverse.
Okay.
So it's an intuitive knowing that's combined with your light body, and when it's combined with your throat, like you were describing the Pleiadians, how sometimes they can't speak their truth on this planet, which names a lot of empaths on this planet currently. Hello,
Yeah.
and but but it activates that high heart. It activates your throat chakra. So not only
So that
can
means, okay, so let me just do a scenario. So does that mean you're opening up the heart chakra that you can speak from your heart chakra instead of your head chakra? From your head, coming from your heart instead of your brain? Is that opening up that connection so you can move towards working from your heart instead of your head?
exactly. Yeah. Working from your heart instead of your 3D head.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And your mind is already awakened, right? Our
Right.
consciousness is already awakened. You have a super consciousness, your higher self that's always awakened. And but right now when we're on this planet, we're in the 3D. And so we're working with our senses, we're working for with constructs and judgment, lots of judgment. So and working with your throat chakra is a lot about judgment, and
Right.
especially the back of your throat chakra with what you say to yourself. So we're really changing our story is a huge part of this. I'm glad you said that because I'm just getting this download. It's really about changing our story of who we are. Like one of the best soul questions you can ask is, "Who am I?"
Right.
And
I'm going through a big change on that myself right now.
yeah, right.
Mhm.
Do you want to talk about it, or I mean, this is all
I
new.
don't have a grasp of it yet.
Yeah,
So, but part of it's from me putting my book out there and opening up that what I've been doing and being a little raw about it. So it's actually opening up other areas at that same time.
vulnerability.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. And when we can be vulnerable like a child with joy and love,
Yeah.
that's that blue ray. So the bliss. Um, so also working with the changing of the guardians, and I've been talking about this for a little bit, being sovereign. Like you are divine being, you are a creator, we are all creators, and that's that divinity within us that we're activating, so that even though I still call in 33 trillion angels, times 144,000, um because I want to and I like the energy of it.
You're not leaving any for anybody else.
Well, why not? Why not have a party if you can? But bringing all that energy in is huge right now. But knowing that when they come in, they bow to us in reverence because of they honor what we're doing, and that's the thing that I get all the time when I meditate. It's always, you know, I ask them, "Why are you doing this? Why are you helping these people? Why are you doing all this?" And they're like, "It's an honor to serve."
Yeah.
And so that's kind of us coming to this planet at this time.
Right. And it's amazing that there's no monetary exchange for that. Everybody just does it to,
Yeah.
for the betterment. Because I've been asked that many times is are you getting paid for what you're doing? Well, no,
No, not
neither are
much.
they. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it is an honor to serve. And that's what I hear them say time and time again. And what's interesting is they were talking about the third eye. A lot of times when I'm working, I'm sorry, there's a gnat that's flying around me. I don't know what they want my information for. But but a lot of times what they do is they touch their forehead to mine.
Yeah.
And that's another activation. And it's an honor also. And the gnat is on my forehead.
I'm going to get that information and take it somewhere.
Right. So there also talk about the Akash, the fielded Akash, and the lattice of the Akash. So the Akashic records libraries are an inner Earth, and they're on many other planets, and I feel like they're also in the Pleiades. And that interconnection, it's not every planet that gets that, so that's one of the reasons why they're really trying to help us. And that's I've got a few other things, but that's about it. So
Okay. Or do
yeah.
you want to go into those, or do you want me to go into the different species on?
No, go into the different species because I think that's really important.
Okay. Well, there's 10 different species, and I'm going to be butchering these names and the stories. So bear with me. Um, so these are the 10 different species that are in the Pleiadian star system. And the first one is the star Taygeta, and the beings there are called Taygetas. So, and there are Taygeta Pleiadians, is what they're called. They tend to have dark hair and or brown hair, auburn hair, and sometimes blonde, but it's a dark blonde. Their eyes are blue, hazel, and sometimes, but rarely, brown. They're very attractive people. They have strong cheekbones and strong facial features. The next one is the star Alcyon, and the people there are called Yena, and they are Caucasian. They look like Caucasian Earth people, and even in their size, their color, everything looks very much like a Caucasian here on Earth. The next star is Electra, and the people on there is Engan. That's Engan, and they look similar to the Taydetras, the ones I talked about that had the dark hair and the light eyes. But the only thing different about them is they're heavier and rounder. Now, wouldn't you love to be called that, heavier and rounder? Because it doesn't mean anything to them, I'm sure. But when I read that, I went, I'd hate for somebody to say that, compare me to somebody and say, well, she's a little heavier and rounder. But okay, the next one is the star Maya, which, of course, we've all heard about the Mayan people, and they look similar to the Mayan people. They are, except they're bigger and darker, and they actually have red skin. And so they are very, 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 very present with those people, with the Mayans and the Hopi Indians, and all those. They are very connected with them, and these natives will eventually have their day because they're the ones that have always been connected to them, and they're going to have their aha moment soon. I think they're going to be going, we've been telling you this, we've been telling you this. So the star Pleiadian is, the people are Salatians, and they're Caucasian on Earth. They look like the Caucasians on Earth, except for they're bigger and taller, but they look a little more alien-like. And I've seen these people on several different planets. They're extremely blonde and they have lighter skin, and they do, as I said, appear more alien-like because their skin is so light, their hair so light, they cannot fit in here.
Are
And
their noses kind of different too?
well, they look very human-like. I would, well, their nose do, but I don't think that would be the thing you would notice as much
Okay.
about them as much as their coloring.
Okay.
Um, so the next is the star Astrotype, where the people are Elohai. They look human but have longer, elongated skulls, and the skulls are larger also. The star Celanerio, Celanero, not sure I pronounced that right. And the Celestius are the people there, and they have, let's see what they are. They are actually the blue Pleiadians. They're actually subspecies of the Dromonans. They look human except they have blue skin, or blue tint to their skin. And then the star Maropa, the people there are Hades or Hadio, and they're a feline race, usually lions and tigers. They're 9 feet tall. They can be biped or quadruped. The next one is the Atlas star, and it's the Atlantis people, and they're humanoid giants, copper skin, blue, green, and brown eyes. And the last one is the Stereope star, which is the Saka people. Saka. Yeah, I think that's how they pronounce it. But these are the reptilians. These reptilians are warm blooded, benevolent, positive, and so these are our positive reptilians. So those are the 10 species that are actually on the Pleiades. We all want to think of them as just blonde haired, blue eyed, good looking people, but that's how many different species are on there that we know of. That means there's so many more.
Wow. So these Atlantean red giants, very interesting. I just saw an article this week about, some of the things that they're discovering right now that they're doing the big digs and the giants and indigenous lands in the States, and then also, I think, South America and China.
That's the word I was looking for is indigenous people.
Yeah.
I'm going. I was struggling with that. Yes, the indigenous people. It's not the indigenous. They have been around for the indigenous from Peru, the Mayans,
Yeah.
all of them, and
Yeah.
Hawaii. Very connected to Hawaii too, with the and the Polynesian.
Yeah, and the giants they've talked about even this article that I saw they were talking about this could have been what the race one of the races that was left over from Atlantis. And
Right.
you were talking about, yeah, the
Right.
Atlanteans. Yeah. I see so many of these beings in
Yeah,
vision.
yeah, you do.
Yeah. They're and in my family, I gotta say too.
Right, right.
Half
Yeah,
of my
but
family.
this opened me up when I was looking at this, that I have always been I was telling Terry before the show, I've been talking about that I really don't have that big of a connection working with the Pleiadians, and then when I started reading this, I went, "Oh my gosh, I have a big connection to these Chargetans, a big connection with them," and also, what was the other ones? The other ones I've seen on 2 different planets. The ones, the people that are Salatians, the Pleiadian, on the star Pleiadian, I don't know how to say that. But anyway, I've seen them on 2 different planets and didn't know that's what they were. So it's amazing that I've been saying all this time, I really don't have a connection to the Pleiadians. I don't know why I'm not working with them, but obviously I have been.
Yeah. And the red skinned ones, that was interesting. And the I
And
mean,
the,
a lot of them are white, but
the Mayans, yeah.
yeah, yeah, it was really interesting. Um, wow, that's pretty phenomenal.
Was an
Now,
eye opener on what we try to categorize everything in these nice little places. Like, as I said, we think Palladians are blonde, blue eyed, nice looking, and then we think like Arcturians are blue. So and it was the information I was sharing many years ago until I started discovering a whole lot more. It was a lot simpler then. Now that I know about all these different species, it's a little harder when somebody says, well, "What's my original star seed?" And you're going,
right?
"Yeah, exactly,
Yeah, yeah. I always think, what do you feel called to at that moment,
right."
like at this time in your life? Because I've seen a lot of these beings even walking on the planet.
Right. Well,
Um,
they also have so many different lives, different beings, different planets, and different stars. So they've been so many different things.
Yeah, yeah, they get around. Kinda like the Vikings, right? Which
Yeah.
all Nords. Yeah, they get it. That's what I was kind of thinking of. I have Nordic heritage, um and part of that is they went everywhere. And so it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger on DNA. So I really feel like some of the messages that they're bringing in right now is that you're right where you need to be. You don't have to worry. And that's a hard thing to stomach, especially when you're worried about your family, your pets, you know, how you're going to live. But you're going to know intuitively where to be and what to do, I feel like. And that high heart energy, when we go into that, it's just going to be a beautiful time for us. It's going to be a lot different, and there might be some chaos coming, but you're where you're supposed to be. I feel like there's a lot of protection coming in, even though we're sovereign, that
Right.
we won't let something happen to this planet that, um,
As the Pleiadians, it affects their star system if something happens to this planet. So they're very protective of it.
yeah, yeah. And anyway, so is there anything else that we want to add to this part of the Pleiadians?
Well, have you got more channeled information you were talking about?
I do have some. Okay, so the blue light activates the high heart chakra, opening the path to the oversoul. It allows access to Pleiadian archives. So not only will we go into the Akashic records, what we feel are our past lives, but it also goes into the Akashic um, part of it that works with our oversoul, that goes into past lives as um, different star beings. So there's kind of this silk threads or gossamer threads that we're working with that, and they come in and show us which way to go, but also the path that we've had. Like we've left gossamer threads from past lives and genetically in different parts of the world and different parts of the star systems. So interconnecting with all of that is going to be a beautiful thing. It's called the triad of blue light. Um, Everybody that's here right now helping us, the Pleiadians, the Hathors, and the Lyrans, among
Oh,
many.
okay. I was getting ready to say, what are the three? So you just,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like those are the three big ones. Do you feel that way? The Hathors, the Lyrans, and the Palladians, or would you name and Octurians, of course?
Arcturians are big. Also,
Yeah,
said the Lyrans, Arcturians are big, Palladians are big. And of course, the gray hybrids are big influence.
yeah. And I think I pulled out Hathors because of my lineage, but but not as many. So okay, so yeah, so a transmission of light and remembrance that we're coming to. Yeah. So
Good.
yeah,
Good
yeah.
information.
Thanks. Good information on you too. I like this stuff. So, if you like this, please let us know in the comments. And we've got ideas on more of them that we're going to be putting out. And let us know who you want the next one to be on. So, all right.
Sounds
Well,
great.
thank you, Dr. Gail.
All right. Thank you, Terry. Thanks,
Bye.
everybody. All right. Bye bye.